What happens if you only level up your luck in Dark Souls 3? Welcome back to the channel, guys, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm StreamYourMind, and today we are going to find out if luck is actually as useless as people say it is. That's right, we are going to prove them wrong. The rules of this run are pretty straightforward. I can only level up luck and nothing else, the class will be of my choosing, and I just have to get to the final boss of the game. Now, if you didn't know, upgrading luck increases your bleed and poison buildup, so it can turn fights like the Demon Princess into literal jokes. The difficulty of this challenge will obviously be the fact that I will have base vigor, stamina, strength, and the rest of the stats at base level, meaning that there will be lots and lots of one-shots. And one last thing, guys, before we begin, if you aren't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subs by the end of the year, and it would mean a lot if you could help me reach that goal. And without further ado, let's jump straight into this. I began this run by giving my character the most appropriate name, then picked my gender, and weird enough there are only two of them, made my character green like the fields in Ireland, and gave him red hair just to be as stereotypical as I could. Chose Mercenary for the most broken weapon in the game, and I then risen up after my 7th drunken night to slash Gundyr to pieces. Leveled luck like gaming journalists do in their first playthroughs before complaining that the game is too hard, picked up the Titanite Shard before Eudix's arena, and traveled to the high wall of Lothric, where I got the gold pine raisin and the fire bombs, which I then unloaded onto this poor thing over here for the Titanite Shard. And without wasting any time, I paid the usual visit to Vord. I completely obliterated his health with no difficulty at all thanks to the twin blades infused with the resin I picked up earlier. I then went back to get the rest of the Titanite shards I missed, leveled my luck to 16, and as you can see, leveling luck increases all of the resistances. It's not much, but it's better than nothing for now. After upgrading to +2, I tree skipped in order to get the Estus shard and the covetous silver serpent ring, and I realized I missed the shard in High Wall of Lothric, so I went back to get it. I got the banner from the old lady and showed it to the entire world. Upon arriving in Undead Settlement, I immediately talked to Yoel and accepted his services. Blew some shit up like your average American, picked the Titanite shards, upgraded to +3, and pushed another point into my luck. I skipped through the road of sacrifices like everyone does and then lit the bonfire. I proceeded to pick up Fallen Knight armor and got cheesed myself by Dumb and Dumber. In Farron Keep, there were a lot of useful items, such as Estus shards, small tits shards, Dream Chaser's ashes for infinite small tits, and even a pair of large tits. Tits my lucky day, I guess. I bought some small Titanite shards and leveled the twin blades to +4, and I also bought a dagger for better navigation through the swamp, and then tried my luck with the Crystal Sage. It wasn't pretty, but there was a way for me to increase my damage even more, so I got the Flynn's ring, got some levels from Yoel because, I forgot to mention it earlier, stripped naked and gave the sage a piece of my mind. Used the souls to level up some more, got the undead bone shards, and got chased by rabid dogs all the way to the chapel. I unlocked the DLC, but only to get the large Titanite shard, went through Cathedral to take the Lloyd sword ring, and canceled deacons from the face of the earth forever. I then chewed the ankles of the 2 prisoner giants outside deacons for the large Titanite shards they drop, exchanged a regular firebomb with Snuggly for another large Titanite, upgraded to +5, and turned off all the fires in Farron Keep. Lit the Farron Keep perimeter bonfire and got the hollow gem placed right next to it. And it was time for a real boss. The damage was pretty awesome, not gonna lie. Only problem were the ganks and the one-shots. But after some perseverance, I came through. After leveling up some more, I had a night out with my buddy here, which I murdered for his cool hat and also for the bone shards. I then broke Wolnir's 3 bracelets and watched him as he rapidly fell down into the unknown we mortals call death. I know it may sound redundant, but I again leveled up luck. I'm just going to stop saying it because I imagine you get it by now. I reached Moldering Lake for the rest of the large Titanite shards I would need to level up my weapon, as well as the Titanite chunk. Got my sword to +6 and arrived in the stunning Irithyll of the Boreal Valley. I staggered the Sullivan Beast with just 2 good placed hits from my amazing sword and slaughtered the poor creature for the Pontiff's right eye. Lit the Church of Yorska bonfire as well as the one in Distant Manor, made my way to a German funhouse and got the Profane Coal, which unlocks Hollow Infusion when given to Andre. Hollow weapons scale with luck, and I upgraded my Hollow Twin Blades to +7 and unleashed my new power onto the poor old lady.
Surprise, surprise.
The only difficulty with Dancer were her one-shot attacks. She tends to remain pretty non-aggressive during phase 1. And her attacks are pretty well telegraphed throughout the entire fight. Obviously consider a margin of error, but I managed to no-hit her with ease. After spending my souls the only way I saw fit, I purchased some gold pine bundles, and before fighting Pontiff, I picked up all of the Titanite chunks in Lothar Castle. And got to consume King's Garden to pick up the Estus shards, as well as the rest of the chunks I was going to need. I then returned to the DLC to vandalize a public bridge, parkoured my way down some tree branches, did my part in the war against the environment, and climbed the longest ladders ever created by mankind to pick up the Titanite slab, and finally upgraded my swords to +10. And if you didn't know, having a +10 hollow weapon combined with at least 15 hollowing grants 5 extra level in, you guessed it, luck. This is how you deal with Pontiff with a +10 weapon. If I also leveled up Dexterity and some Int for some more scaling and buffs, this would be one hell of a build. After I discovered this cheese for Aldrich, however, I don't think I will ever go back to fighting him legitimately. I reached 55 luck, plus the 5 I got from the bonus, so I had about 60, and I went to Yorm, and he is really easy. Just lay his right arm and his left arm until he stabs. Fuck that guy. Some more leveling later, the time to melt the Dragon Slayer armor had arrived. With the armor out, I sped through the Duke's Archives to farm some souls. Leveled luck, unlocked the elevator for the princess, and I have to say, the one-shots here really gave me a hard time. Especially the teleported slam really got on my nerves. But your boy is no pussy, and I faced the challenge laid upon me like a real Chad. And after beating the twin duo, I released all of my frustration on the rotted great wood. It was fun. Then I remembered that I didn't do anything for the ending, so I talked to Anri in the Road of Sacrifices, talked to her again in Firelink Shrine, found her crying in the catacombs of Karthus where she lost her companion.
Have you seen my companion, Horace?
Horus? Never heard of him. I then talked to Yura, and she told me that I had a bride waiting for me. So I proceeded to stick my huge stick into Anri's hairy and thick head. And it was time to begin the ritual and go face the final boss. And Solo Cinders was... yeah, it was pretty bad. So the strategy consisted in putting some clothes on first of all, getting pretty good at fighting his strength form, so I would just need to pray to gods he would then pass to his int build in order to punish him greatly and hopefully staggering him for some big damage. If he transitioned to his faith build, I would punish his leap attack, and in his second phase the trick was just to stay far away and bait his jump attacks. Squeeze 1 or 2 hits before backing off, watching out for his wind impression, and it wasn't the fastest way, nor was it bulletproof, but it for sure was the safest strategy. And the rest, as they say, is history. And just like that, another run was completed, and this video has come to an end. But before I leave to go back into my Batcave protecting Gotham, I wanted to test the bleed damage on the Demon in Pain and the Demon of Below. So I made Blood Sellsword Twin Blades, upgraded them all the way to +10, and went wild on the demons. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video and thank you if you made it to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.